Hey folks, it's CJ Miller. I'm in my apartment in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm getting ready to go to this Alice Cooper concert. I'm waiting on other attendees to arrive at my apartment, and cool, we're gonna get ready, and then we're just gonna kind of go over. I'm looking at my view. I can see the Municipal Memorial Auditorium. That is the venue where even the Louisiana Hayride played, and where some of the greats, Hank Williams, Patsy Cline. Well, did she play there early on? I know they all kind of rode around, but I think she kind of maybe came a little after Hank Williams. I don't know. Some of my family played there. I know that Jerry Lee Lewis played there occasionally because he and Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, Johnny Cash, the Carters. I mean, they all rode around to venues together that they were playing. So uh, I don't know. It's amazing to know that so many. I remember that Louisiana Hayride. I don't remember it personally. I'm not that old, but I remember reading in Linda Ronstadt's book, Simple Dreams. She talked about how they had a powerful receiver just across the border in Mexico from where she lived in Tucson. And because of that, she was able to, her mother was able to receive uh, the radio program, the Louisiana Hayride, all the way from Shreveport Municipal Auditorium. And that was such a big influence in the music that she would go forward and make. So not just local history and not just like one or two or a few named biggies to break out on KWKH, Louisiana Hayride radio program, but I mean, not just that claim, but it has a legacy that has affected other people. Uh, Foreigner uh, acknowledged its history. It's one of Kenny Wayne Shepherd's favorite places to play concert that I've been to. Of course, he actually is from here, so he's almost obligated to say that. But Alice Cooper, I'm going to see them tonight. And I say them because they're really a band. I mean, Alice Cooper is a stage personality, the front man and everything like that, but it's always been a band performance, although he's always front and center. But it initially started as a band, and he was almost reluctant, but then it was like he did it, and then went as far as to change his legal name to Alice Cooper and everything. So yeah, that's commitment, right? So what? Yeah, we're really excited. It's going to be my nephew's first big concert. I'm sure he's seen some shows and stuff like that, uh, but I pretty much guarantee you he's never quite seen anything like an Alice Cooper concert. Because if you've been to one, you know what I'm talking about. It's very theatrical. We'll leave it at that. He's gonna have a good time. Yeah. And then, I got I'm really excited because they're coming over to the house, and then I'm gonna offer them some cake. uh, it's not cake, it's actually bread. It's a bread recipe that I incorporated Nestle Toll House chips and almonds to adorn it on top, and I really hope uh, that it turned out. It's essentially what you would call a great big giant bread shaped cookie, or either a pie if you use bread dough to make. But it's an artisan bread, like it's an artisan bread recipe where it's a quick rise bread, and the longer you can let it go, better. And I let it rise for about 45 minutes, close to an hour, and then I layered the chips into it, and then I let it rise for another hour and a half. So we're talking about 2.5, maybe close to 3 hours worth of um, gluten's being worked on by the starches, and it's a double by the yeast, by the starches being worked on, I should say, starches being worked on by the yeast being converted into sugars, and then being broken down even further into it's major divisionary. What do you call something when you divide it in mathematics? What do you call the result of division? Anyway, dividend? I don't know. Anyway, of carbon dioxide and alcohol, and that creates the pockets that help it swell. And I really feel that it was really, I was really happy to with the little muffins that I tested out. I actually saved one of the muffins. So I can have, so in case someone comes here and they decide, and it's just going to be my sister and my nephew, and in case somebody decides they don't want the chocolate, then they can have the muffin. Of course, if they have the muffin, they're gonna, it's topped with everything bagel seasoning. So that means poppy seeds. If you take it, you'll fail a drug test. As long as it's in your system. I think opioids remain in the system for 3 to 5 days or something like that. And poppy seeds, I don't know. Anyway, I like sesame seeds and poppy seeds and things like that on bagels and stuff like that. That was, but yeah, it's close in, like, yeah. It's from the same plant that they render, opioids. So, codeine and stuff like that. So I think codeine is an opioid. Anyway, I have taken my medications, meaning that my mood, I should be able to behave myself. My blood pressure medicine, taken all that. I have taken a multivitamin, very good to stay healthy. I have, because I'm going to be in a crowd, I have taken some emergency, a good. Anytime I know that I'm going to be in a crowd, I want to boost up my immune system. Because I am of a certain age, I'm north of a certain age, and so it's like, gotta take care of the health, as much as possible. So anyway, I've entertained myself and made a fool of myself. So hey, it's CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I promise you, there's a very crisp image on my phone, and my hair is not this gnarly in person. It's because of the high definition lens that it's looking so crunchy. Anyway, but it actually looks all right in person. And let me tell you, there's really not much hair. It's just it's long, and I've got it textured and combed over and worked, and it actually looks pretty good in person. So it's a little bit. It's probably why rockabilly hair came in fashion, so that men my age could cover up our thinness or even our baldness. But yeah, I'm going to the Municipal Auditorium. I'm so excited. My nephew's coming over. My sister's coming over. We'll get ready here. Potentially, we'll eat some chocolate chip bread. I made videos about all that. I was so excited about that. But there's also I saved one of the everything bagel muffins that I kept from the bread batter, just in case somebody just did not want chocolate. You can't. Somebody may not feel like it. But then I've also got chips and salsa and stuff like that. Just a little chippy kind of thing. We're not doing anything major. I don't want a big, heavy food. But I'm gonna go to this Alice Cooper concert. And do you know what's so cool about this? Is that it's at the Municipal Memorial Auditorium in Shreveport, Louisiana, and that was the home of a radio program uh, in the 50s going forward from KWKH, and I wish they would have kept it up. KWKH was a classic country radio station and was all the way from all that time. It was classic country, and then shortly after the millennium, or somewhere around there, I don't know. I left town in, I want to say 1999, the early part of 1999. And I moved to New Orleans for a while, and then I moved to Florida for a while. So I was gone for about 4 years. When I came back, um, and the next time I noticed, KWKH had changed its format after all those decades, changed formats from a classic country music station to a sports station. So it really featured on sports, you know. But you know, and the reason why I know it is because it's, you know, my father listened to it when I was a teenager, the radio station. That, and I think there was a station, KRMD, that played like more modern country or something like that. I think that was a country station that my dad listened to a lot too. By then I would hear it when we were riding around in the family vehicle or whatever. You know, yeah. Um, but I love my rock and roll. You know, and I love the musical legacy of the Louisiana Hayride that KWKH did, the radio program that was our answer to the Grand Ole Opry. But we played. It was a slightly different flavor because we were a little bit more. A lot of the stuff there was a lot more rockabilly. Like, I am certain Hank Williams, the original senior, I am pretty certain that if he were doing music today, he would be, because he was very edgy for his time. If you go back and listen to what was being put out at the time, he was very edgy, and I am pretty certain that I'm looking at this fly. I'm not even going to swat this fly on my window. And then everybody will know how innocent I am, and they'll say, why, you wouldn't even hurt a fly. No, I'm sorry. I love that movie, Psycho, the end of it. So, okay, so anyway, yeah, there is a fly. I'm going to kill it. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the flavor of well, Hank Williams. I feel like Hank Williams is the equivalent of what an alternative punk rocker would be. Like, he was very, like, kind of like, even before him, how Amadeus Mozart was avant-garde, and in that way he would have like, if he were more modern and more contemporary today, if he lived today, he would be so forward that he would be considered you know, he would be celebrated as being of the underground, you know, which defines the music of the future. What's underneath everything defines the zeitgeist of tomorrow. You know, if you want to know what everybody's going to be doing tomorrow, it can be found in what just a few people are doing today. And then there are, you know, and that was, you know, so that was the rock and roll, and of course it's just evolved. But a lot of what Alice Cooper does is rooted in classic rock and roll, even though it's guitar metal and everything like that. But the yeah, I mean, I've listened to it. I've been listening to it. You know, it's got some rudimentary commonalities with, you know, just standard pop music, which derives from you know, early rock and roll, you know, which in turn derived from various forms of music being pulled together to form rock and roll. Rock and roll wasn't new the earliest was in the late 40s, and there was a song, "Anyone Who Had a Heart." That was one of the earliest rock and roll songs. It wasn't the first. It wasn't the first song to use the term rock and roll, but you know, a lot of the black musicians and everything. But that wasn't. It wasn't an invention. It was a rearrangement of components that were inspired from other music, you know, big band jazz, that kind of stuff, uh, coming in with melodic music, you know, big band melody and rhythm, you know. So when you hear the term rhythm and blues, it's almost synonymous with rock and roll. Rock and roll tends to be an upbeat form of rhythm and blues, but the rhythm's got to be there. And then, of course, later on, it gets more avant-garde as people discover it. You know, well, Alice Cooper uh, is a showman. The band Alice Cooper, because it was a band at first, and then he retained because he actually eventually, like in the 70s, changed his name. You know, like he was so immersed in the act and he was known so much that he just legally changed his name and became Alice Cooper. And then, of course, he uh, became um, you know, he reclaimed his roots as a devout Christian, his faith, and just rediscovered it. And which I guess something like that's always there. You're just out exploring. I think that's what a lot of people do anyway. When they grow up, they kind of like, you know, got to kind of go figure things out. Wow, that's my neighbor screaming. And my door is wide open and stuff. That's why we can hear everything from outside. But anyway, but yeah, and then like he talked about in some interviews, well, I guess I can't be Alice Cooper anymore, and you know his spiritual counselor was like, no, you know this is a performance piece. It's a character. It's not real life, and you have that. You know, you have that gift for a reason. So go out and entertain people, and then you know, yeah. So uh, you know, and that's kind of cool. So yeah, what else? I don't know. I'm just super psyched. I'm psyched for the Alice Cooper concert. I'm psyched for seeing my sister, who's going to be here in about half an hour. I'm psyched for seeing my nephew. I'm psyched for cutting into this chocolate bread. Uh, and I'll do a tasting video probably later tonight. I mean, you know, not when I first cut into it, of course, with my family or whatever. But I'm just super excited. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm fixing to go put on some clothes. I've got like some black vinyl pants. I'm sorry, I just could not afford leather, but I didn't have leather pants, but it's too hot for leather, for thick leather anyway. So I got vinyl. It'll work. And yeah, I'm fixing to put the rest of the outfit together. So we'll see what's up. Hey, I love you guys. I wanted to do a video before I get too busy, and I couldn't talk about my excitement because I'll have company, and I don't want to just sit around doing like phone videos when I have company and stuff like that. So yeah, but love and light. I'll probably see you tonight. I know I'm going to post some videos. From the concert. So yeah, if you're out there, and Kaylee, I know I see you. Well, yeah. So check out some of the videos later on. I just wanted to talk. I'm so excited. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta like talk. That's what's up. Love and light. Bye.